Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, we're going to be talking about the transit North Node conjunct one's natal Mars. Now, when we're talking about the transit of the North Node in astrology, it could often manifest in issues one may have to confront or address. Now, since we're talking about Mars, these could be about issues connected with anger, acrimonious energy, things of a physical nature. It could be one's vitality, endurance, their energy. It could be over a contentious situation. If you have this in the zodiac sign Cancer, like me, it can be a contentious family situation that needs to be addressed once and for all. If you've been procrastinating, these are things I think sometimes with the North Node in transit, it can be about something that comes to a head, and you have to maybe do something. Maybe I would say do something about once and for all if you procrastinated or hesitated on the matter. Now, the thing too is it could also be about issues one may have to address or deal with that are associated with one's drive and motivation. If something's happened where your life has felt like you feel unmotivated or you're lethargic, say if you have this in Pisces. Mars in Pisces can be somewhat lethargic and not all, and really might put a lot of their energy into relaxation, meditation. It might not be a lot of physical activity. This could be an issue where you might feel like you have to even confront yourself and have an understanding of what's going on with you, and it could be over those issues. Now, and also it could be things of a sexual nature as well, and also too, Mars is associated with courage. If there's something that you have to do that requires some kind of confrontation or courage, and it's something you really you might have contemplated but haven't really basically embarked on it, so to speak, as of yet. It could be the time where a situation comes around where it has to be expressed, whether you really wanted it to or not. And also, too, it's also could be issues with the face or the head or even accidents. And say for example, especially if you have like a transit, like transit Neptune making an adverse aspect to your Mars. This could be there's something where this could be some kind of accident through some kind of slip and fall on a chemical or something, and really because you're talking about, Mars, the planet that could be associated with accidents, and Neptune can be about energy that is unclear, that we don't always see, and of course, when you have an aspect like that in transit, it can result in some kind of accident. Now, and also Mars is associated with muscles, so this could be about issues that you may have to deal with that are involving the muscles. It could be the development of them. If you're somebody that's athletic and you're involved in sports, this could be the time where you might be doing something, starting some kind of workout regime in order to get that, working out vigorously in order to develop the muscles. Say if this is in Gemini, it could be in the arms, the bicep, the tricep, the forearms. Now, the thing about it is now, like in my case, I have this I have my Mars in Cancer in my natal chart. It could be, again, going back about when I have this transit, can be about a combative family situation that may need to be taken care of. I don't really foresee that happening though, but that's a way it could manifest in Pano. It could be about brooding, becoming angry over past hurts, and it might be issues that I may have to address or confront. And also, when you have the transit North Node conjuncting your natal Mars, it could be about somebody that's a dominant masculine or male figure may come into play at this time and might have some very strong influence on your life at this time. And the thing about it is, when you're talking about this transit, could also, North Node could be about our timing, the impeccable. This could be about impeccable timing for initiating a new endeavor. Mars is very impatient energy. It does rule Aries. It can be connected with enterprise and initiative. This is the time where you might embark on a new endeavor and take action. Within a lot of it, of course, is predicated on the sign and house that it's in. If you have this in Scorpio, say in your 10th house, for example, it could be something Scorpio related. As far as a career related matter, it could be something with investigation. It could be something with the occult, which includes astrology or working with forensics, locksmithing, anything that could be Scorpio related. That could be a career related endeavor. Now, another thing too is when we're looking this, when you have transit North Node conjunct your natal Mars, it could also manifest in having the drive and courage to move forward with abundance and surfeit of energy. Say if this is in Leo, for example, it may be done with very near inexorable energy, but at the same time, it could be about confronting issues with dehydration. Remember, Mars is that hot planet, and you're looking at, and Leo can be about overexertion, overdoing things. Leo doesn't do anything, on a small scale, and it is a fire sign. So those are things that might need to be, addressed at the time of the transit. Now, on or about September 2nd, 2020, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had tested positive for COVID-19, the coronavirus, and at the time, transit North Node in Gemini was at least making a loose conjunction to his natal Mars in Gemini. And and remember that Mars in astrology can be about physical related matters. So it wouldn't surprise me that he was experiencing some issues with the lungs, the breathing, the respiratory system, and also the coronavirus can also give body aches. Those can be some symptoms with that. So the fact this was in Gemini, he might have been experiencing some aches with the arms and the hands at this time as well due to the coronavirus. Now, another thing too, what I wanted to say is that this is another, as far as history goes, another example. Now, in April 14th, it was in 1865, transit North Node in Scorpio made a loose conjunction to Abraham Lincoln's natal Mars in the 8th house of death. Now, he was assassinated at this time. He was shot in the back of the head. Now, Mars can be associated with guns and gunfire and violence. Scorpio, the fact this North Node was in Scorpio, the transit, that could play a role in this being done very surreptitiously. And the fact is, it was in the 8th house of death at this time. And the thing too, this is also, there was another interesting example I thought with this transit North Node conjuncting one's natal Mars, if I'm not mistaken. It was like June 20th, 1967. Legendary boxer Muhammad Ali was involved. It was like some judicial case or something regarding him not wanting to be drafted, trying to evade the draft at the time. And the transit North Node was making at least a loose conjunction to his natal Mars in Taurus, and it was in the 9th house of the law. Mars can be about the military. And interesting that Mars was in Taurus at the time. Muhammad Ali was stubbornly opposing going into the military. He adamantly expressed he didn't want to be drafted, and he was fighting this through thick and thin. And they ruled at the time that he was found guilty. I don't think he did any jail time, but this led to him being exiled from boxing for about 3.5 years as a result. Keep in mind that again, the North Node can be about significant. It can manifest in significant events, issues we may have to confront or address. And this was something about going to war. And the thing about it is, Mars in his natal chart having an peace with Taurus, it's not shocking or bewildering that he was about peace and he didn't really want to go to war. At least that is what he had stated at the time. And also the 9th house is associated with sports. This was going to affect his sports life. So, I mean, it is just very interesting how these things really pan out, and that astrology is almost eerily just so accurate. And it really, I mean, it really held true for Muhammad Ali the way this actually worked out with him. And the thing about this too is when you're talking about the transit North Node conjuncting one's natal Mars, this could also, the way it could play out too, it could be about the development of Mars-related things. Again, like muscles, it could be working out vigorously, developing them. Again, if this was in Gemini, let's say, as an example, developing the arms. If you have this in Aquarius, it could be the calf muscles. But don't get me wrong, when somebody works out, generally they're going to work out virtually either all their body or virtually all their body. But I'm talking about points of emphasis, perhaps when you have a transit like this through working out. Now, could also be about developing more courage and drive, initiative, doing things to increase one's energy and vitality. Let's say, for example, if this is an Aquarius, it could be finding unique methods of doing so, unorthodox methods of increasing one's endurance, vitality, their energy, things that haven't been tried before. It could be some new pills or supplements that have come out. It could be through even something electronic, like electronic or computerized weightlifting equipment. And also, too, this is Mars. When you talk about the transit of the North Node, it can often involve one's future and destiny. And let's say, for example, somebody has the transit Mars in Aries. The transit North Node conjuncting one's natal Mars in Aries. And say it's in the 11th house. This could be about the ability, the future may be tied in to expressing one's mechanical skill, which could be the Aries, Mars in Aries, and then doing so in humanitarian endeavors, which is the 11th house. Now, it's an interesting story I wanted to tell, and I'm going to end this likely after that. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, there was a time back in, it was like around early February of 2019, where a friend of mine was having this transit. He had the transit North Node in Cancer, making a conjunction, at least a loose one, to his natal Mars. And he had gotten upset at me over a situation involving food. And food is associated with cancer. And I thought it was very interesting they had his transit at this time, and he just was very, became like really acerbic. And those are things that often will happen when you have the transit of the North Node hitting one's Mars. The North Node is generally more auspicious than it is negative, but sometimes it can manifest in negative ways because it could be about addressing and confronting issues like anger issues when it's hitting one's natal Mars. And the thing is, the South Node is about what we're going away from, but the North Node is about our future, and sometimes even pursuing the future. It's leaving the past behind, and sometimes that's not always easy to do. So it's really, the North Node can go in both directions in terms of having a positive and negative effect on others. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.